I'm here inside the old St. George building in the Uptown area, one of the most beloved buildings in our city. And people have asked, why would a church buy a money pit like that to have a new location? It's because we're obsessive includers. We've been obsessively including our friends and our co-workers and our neighbors for a long time, and there are students that we want to include right here in this area. There's people in the medical community right here in this area that we want to include. There's hipsters right in this area that we want to include. We are obsessive includers, and we will expend and extend ourselves to do just that very thing. We've never stopped wanting to invite our friends, our neighbors, to be a part of our church. Not that we feel like someone has to be a part of our church. We feel like someone has to have a relationship with the living God in order for life to work. And so we're constantly inviting, constantly including, constantly tearing down any barrier that might stand between someone being disconnected from God and someone being close to God. A national publication recently ranked us as the fastest growing church in the country and the 9th largest. We're the 9th largest and the fastest growing church in the country. That's crazy. Yeah, if you want to clap right now, it's kind of cool. That's really, really crazy. I mean, it's hard to imagine a business being the 9th largest business and the fastest growing business in the country. It's really hard to imagine that. And yet that's exactly what God has been doing through us. And let's make really clear one thing. It is God doing His work through His people. He gets all of the glory for that. And why is that a good thing? Because that shows that more people are coming into the family of God. Every number has a name, and every name is known by God. We will never stop knocking down barriers to bring more and more people into relationship with Christ. In the book of Acts, chapter 1:8, Jesus says this. He says, "You will receive power when the Holy Spirit has come upon you, and you'll be my witnesses in Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the ends of the earth." I have to think that there was probably people who were seeing the activities of the early church. They went beyond Jerusalem, all the way to the ends of the earth, going, who do those people think they are? I mean, gosh, haven't they reached enough people? No, they haven't. No, until they fulfill the mandate that Jesus gave them, called the Great Commission, they have absolutely not. I don't know where we get this idea that smaller is more holy. I don't know where we get this idea that conservative is more godly. Hey, here's an idea, Cincinnati. God likes aggressive things that grow. We ought to try it sometime. He likes that. We're taking our marching orders from the very Bible itself, the oldest and most holy code that there is. And it isn't just an act of obedience to God, though that's good enough. It's an act of love. Man, I'll tell you what, everyone who's in a room right now, whatever room you're in right now at Crossroads, I can tell you names and faces of people who talked to me before you ever came that said, we should just stop growing. We should stop reaching new people. And I'll tell you what, if we had listened to them and we had been ungodly and listened to them, you wouldn't be here and you wouldn't have the life and the change that you have right now. I never, ever, ever, ever get tired of hearing about what God does in people's lives. It isn't about the numbers. Every number has a name, and every name is known by God, and I never get tired of seeing names that God has done something in and reminds me this is why we do what we do.